Yo, Craig. Can you hear me? Hello? I'm just going to keep playing. I hope you're getting this, Craig. Anybody on this Breaking Wind channel? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? I still don't hear you. Oh, I heard something.
Hello?
What's that? What's that?
Hello? I've been
Okay.
talking the whole time.
Have you? Have you heard? Did you hear my musical interlude?
I think we record the whole thing.
Did we?
Hello? Craig did.
Yeah.
I said a lot of stuff.
Did you?
Yeah, man.
I didn't hear you say anything the whole time.
Well, maybe you were too busy composing.
So you did you get to hear the composition that I put
Yeah.
together? Oh,
Yeah, man.
you heard it. Oh, okay.
I was like the Flavor Flav to your Terminator X.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought I was just doing this, at a, you know, for no good reason. I was making all that
Oh,
noise. No
no,
good reason.
the good reason has not been divulged to us yet.
No,
I'm just assuming Craig took all that down.
I hope so.
And not only our listeners, but we can relive that moment over and over again.
Well, I hope so.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, boop,
I
boop, boop,
know
boop, boop, boop.
Craig is pretty picky with the audio on my end, so like every other word seems like it's comes in on the recording after listening to it.
Well,
You know,
you're
especially the last one. I don't know if it's because I don't like right now. I'm talking directly into the phone. Like
oh, you sound great.
one of them fucking idiots walking around on an Excel.
Oh, yeah, man. Just,
Maybe that's the key to success.
I know it is. Just just walk down the street, just go down your contacts list, and just ask people where they at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually, oh, you'll have a friend or two.
Yes.
But maybe the makings of a great podcast as well. Because
Yeah.
you sound clear as a bell.
Oh, that's good. I usually have the phone like sitting on a table and have both hands free for, you know, uh, extracurricular, extracurricular activities.
Yeah, yeah,
Extracurricular.
yeah. Farming and gardening,
Yeah, yeah,
trimming the hedges.
yeah. It's like, usually both hands are required.
Yeah, you got some big clippings to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of clippings. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, breaking wind today with you. It seems like it's been a good fortnight since we spoke last.
Well, I think I caught a hernia from that last 3 hours.
Oh yeah,
Sure, man. The sound of
was it?
my own nasally, whining, droning voice. Fucking, I needed a break.
Yeah,
No, no, I love this.
yeah. It's good fun.
It is good fun, and it's good natured fun.
It's wholesome.
It's wholesome. It'll make you shit.
Yes.
I've been shitting more since we've been doing this.
Oh, that's delightful.
Well, for me,
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like one of my favorite pastimes.
it's getting to be one of mine.
You know.
It's sneaking up on me. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Well, I had a great nap the other day too. One of those droolers. I don't take naps usually. I'm usually just awake and depressed
Yeah.
and wishing I would die.
Yeah. I know that.
And yeah, you know that feeling?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's gotten to the point where I don't have any escape hatches. I guess my most recent go-to would have been coffee. Caffeine would seem to give me that jolt that I needed to get the mule,
Yeah,
back out into the muddy fields and pulling the plow and
yeah.
yucking it up with the other guff haulers. And that's not on the menu anymore, is to my great benefit. I don't have, none of these things I miss, but
Well, it seems like you're missing some sort of habit forming substance.
I'm missing an escape. So it's just me versus me, as Biz Markie once
Yeah.
said, and I like it.
Oh,
This
baby.
is what this is what separates the men from the boys.
Got what I need.
I
Yeah.
want to go grow up, be big boy. I'm gonna be fireman when I grow up. I'm gonna be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you shit better, you think clearer. The horror is laid ever so bare before you, and it's quite apparent that what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Pooping? Still?
Well, I think if you could interchange pooping with just daily life.
Yes. Yes. When food goes in, food goes out.
Yeah, so that's where we are. And right now I'm in the process of going out. I
Clean it.
can't. Hmm?
Cleaning house. Yeah.
Oh, scrubbing. Spring cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Dusting out
definitely
the old
is.
cobwebs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
uh it's a mess in here. It's a
Yeah.
mess.
I'm long overdue for a good purge myself.
You're talking about pooping.
No, well, no, I mean, I poop regularly, but
Well, you're talking about one of them.
yeah, like I probably have a lot of excess waste that's just, residual because you don't get it all out every time. It's,
No, if you did, you just go back to what you were doing before.
yeah, that's like, infancy type of stuff, like a baby, anything that goes in is coming out relatively quick and
That's
easy.
it.
But as we age and I guess take our turns through these environmental hazards, it kind of wears the system down, so it doesn't work as efficiently as it should.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
There's a lot of famous accounts of people that have excess of like 40, 50 pounds of undigested shit in their stomach.
I'll
Uh,
just hauling it around.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to what these people that perform the autopsies do with all of the poop that they retrieve out of
Oh,
out of these people.
they must be getting paid a pretty penny.
Yeah, I would I would hope so.
You know, there's magic in them thar hills.
It's like a real life Play-Doh factory.
It can't be good, whatever it is.
No.
I was thinking about that. I'm a relatively uh skinny guy, and I've been shitting out the works ever
Uh,
since I started deep cleansing. I don't know. I wouldn't think of it as deep cleansing. It was just sort of a curiosity. It's like if I squirt warm caffeinated, beverage into my anus and hold
yeah.
it there for 20 minutes, I just wonder what's going to come out.
Oh yeah.
And because I'd had issues anyway, and I've leaned holistic. I studied orthomolecular nutrition, which is the practice of using vitamins and minerals to balance your system. but the rule is with orthomolecular nutrition is nothing has a LDL 50. It doesn't have a toxicity like uh, a logical toxicity. Like you can kill yourself on water, but you'd have to drink a whole lot of water to overdose on it.
Yeah,
So vitamin C, for example, was one of my gateway
there's nothing.
um, experiments because once you reach your threshold for vitamin C, you just diarrhea it out.
Well, do you know why that's happening? Don't you?
Why? What's happening?
Why you're just dumping out all of the vitamin C is because it's the vitamin C is attaching itself to the free radicals and neutralizing the radicals, and then they all stay in your body as neutralized radicals. So then you have an excess buildup of neutral radicals, where you really need to get some ionized water, like some negatively charged hydrogen ions, to help carry the vitamin C, out after it neutralizes the radicals.
So what you're saying is we need to infiltrate the Occupy Wall Street group with our own disruptors
Yes,
so that they
occupy.
shit themselves out of this banking system.
Uh, yeah, and in such a degree, I suppose.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about.
I mean, we're like juicing is like the that the way they explain like a negatively charged hydrogen ion is like that feeling of that effervescence, like when you slice an orange open, like you fresh peel an orange, like you get that
Hmm.
zest. That's the ions, but you want to drink the juice as quickly as possible, because the longer it sits, they just dissolve.
Well, that's great stuff too. Juicing
Yeah.
was the next thing that I discovered after popping a bunch of pills that were probably laced with silica and all kinds of other poisons.
Yeah, I mean the science,
Because
the
I didn't
science,
understand the balance. I didn't understand food,
right?
so I got into that juicing, and then
Yeah, it's really fascinating. Like some of the stuff that I'm kind of leaning towards, that the juice is really just uh, a carrier for the negatively charged hydrogen ions. Because otherwise, it's really just sugar. Um, but that's kind of I think that's the only benefit you're receiving from the juice is the actual transfer of negatively charged hydrogen ions, and maybe you get some fiber and stuff.
could be, man. Who knows what's going on inside this
Yeah, I mean,
fucking bag of meat?
yeah, yeah. I mean, just to like have all that sugar, I don't know. It just seems.
Well, if you
Uh,
steer clear of the high sugar juices, and then one thing I learned is kale's overrated. You don't want to get a lot of that. There's a particular kind of acid. I can't remember the name of the acid in there, but that's pretty rough on your kidneys. And you don't want to be oxalate. Is it oxalate? Oxalic acid, I believe. A raw kale
yeah.
is a little bit too much for your filters. Yeah,
Uh,
that's probably by design too, because boy howdy was kale ever popular to juice. And but yeah, if you're addicted to if you're coming off of sodas and light and sweet coffee every morning,
yeah,
you're going to be inclined to drink straight apple juice and pineapple juice or all those sort of things, which is probably a good step, but your your blood sugar is gonna jump one way or the other depending on your shit ability.
yeah,
But I say anything in the direction away from yeah, conscious self poisoning is a good step.
yeah,
And you just figure it out along the way, and your your knowledge grows with your mistakes, and it's difficult really to make fatal mistakes unless you're making decisions from a fear-based position. If you're in a panic, like for me, I had a full body rash about 8 years ago, and it just kept growing, and I had no understanding of what's going on. And
Right.
about 2 months ago, for one reason or another, this rash developed on my neck exactly as it started about 7 years ago. But this go around, I had an understanding that just something was out of whack. Stop putting food in.
Yeah.
So I didn't eat for 12 days. I drank water. I wasn't hungry. I didn't even juice that much, but it was enough to let the hormones balance out, slow down the digestive system, did my enema routine, which I never ever would have thought I would make a regular part of my protocol. But there's a lot of shit getting into us that we know about.
And a lot of stuff that we don't know about.
Fucking A, because yesterday I was out walking around. Well, it's just another story, but my skin was very dry yesterday. And
Oh,
this is something I noticed. And I'm in a particularly balanced state right now, eating all vegetables. Um, I'd say probably 60% raw, steam some. I
yeah.
lightly stir fry some
Well, like you were saying,
greens.
some of these ingredients need to be cooked a little bit so you can digest them properly.
I think so, and that's where these fantastic poops are coming from. But once that starts uh, going through the system, the idea is you can absorb nutrients more efficiently, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Unless you were fortunate enough that you were, uh, eh, you know, midwifed by a dolphin and your parents were, had enough forethought to not feed you.
Yeah, well, that's the best case scenario. But
Goddamn is, man. If not, you got to put hoses up your ass and flush out worms and old boots and shit.
yeah, it's very few and far between that ideal scenario for being raised in this environment. But
Yeah.
you can't cry over spilt milk, as some may say.
Yeah, I
So.
think Obama said that. There,
Oh
that was my last hope.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
I
I've
thought
ever
he.
had. I don't think I've ever had hope in the political system, but yeah, I mean, I guess that was like a little upshoot for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I was left to my own devices at about 17 years old, so I kind of had to piece this thing together. So I fell into the usual traps.
Yeah.
And as I climb out, hindsight is better than 2020. It's kind of like having laser eyes, as you well know,
Yes.
and you can inform yourself as you go. And as long as you don't get stuck into this addictive state of self criticism and this dead ending of self analysis and looking looking outside of yourself for help from another human being, which is your first inclination,
Yeah.
you're able to puzzle piece this shit together, and it seems like it's just like a Scooby Doo mystery. All you got to do is take the mask off,
Yes.
and there's the troublemaker,
There's the creepy old guy.
creepy old guy, and he
Yeah.
would have got away with it too,
If it wasn't for them damn kids.
fucking meddling around.
Yeah. Well, um, I had something to add. I was trying to find something I wrote. Oh, yeah. Let's see.
We're on the same page today.
If hindsight is 2020, then be hindsight is 2018. But I was. This is just something I wrote. I haven't read this in a while, so let's see what it says.
Yeah, keep
Uh,
going.
so if hindsight is 2020, then behind sight is 218. This is talking about Trump. Trump is 218. So
Oh, I see.
uh,
Oh, you have some good stuff, man.
so
Keep
if
going.
hind, so if hindsight is 2020, then behind sight is 218. Then the seeker becomes the seer, and those left behind, unsaved, will feel unscathed, still trapped in the time. Where does the road less traveled go? We don't know because those who take it don't sit around and write about it. They just go. They just do it. There's no need to label and measure that which is there unless we are trying to convince others that we know more than them. They will only see when they want to see. Why assume everyone wants to be saved? Or why try to convince them that they should be saved so they call you their savior? Sounds egotistical, unless we're talking about critically massed induced dimensional shift, but by that logic, it is not good and bad, plus and minus, all equal. Or is there a formula for that? Okay, all right. So, but by that logic, is. But by that logic, is not good and bad, plus and minus, all equal. Um, or is there a formula for that? In other words, are all souls equal? The answer, yes and no. Yes, they are equal in potentiality, but only before inhabiting a vessel. Then, no, because circumstance takes over. You become a product of your environs, the gross material output of all of your given stimuli and nourishment. What I am explaining is that although you are ultimately responsible for your enlightenment, it is also not within your control. There is no control. The second you begins to realize what this is, it ceases to be, so you see, nature thrives for disorder. When man has all of nature under a rule of thumb, if you will, it will be no longer it will no longer exist. I gotta edit that.
No, you don't. This is brilliant stuff, man.
I don't know if I wrote that. I know I wrote the first, like the first.
Would you do Xerox it? You wrote that.
It's on my cell phone on my notepad. So, but I know I wrote that first half, but then like the second half, it doesn't. I know, like the part where I stumbled over my own words, like,
Those were not your own words, you
well,
suspect.
no, 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 that was definitely me because I'm the only one that writes so poorly. But by that logic is not good and bad plus and minus all equal. Right. So I'm making the argument that good and bad are the same thing. And
Yeah,
in other words, I'm questioning if there is an equality of souls. And I answer the question.
yeah.
Uh,
This is your style. This is
yeah,
how
yeah,
you do it.
yeah. I
You've
guess
written
I
some
guess you
great
did right.
poetry.
I think I did write that. I don't know. Maybe it's
God,
a maybe it's a mashup. Who knows?
well, either way, you get credit for it. You pinned
But
it.
yeah, that's my Trump 2020 speech.
Uh, well, I guess that's why you won the election.
Well, yeah, that was around the time of that. I don't know if you watch uh,
Ah,
Zenith on the Alpha of America and all the Gamma stuff.
guess why I do watch that.
Because I like the channel.
You're fucking right.
But yeah, he does a lot of work on that channel, and they get into it a lot more than I do. I just
Yeah,
I kind of just sit back and watch it all unfold. But
that's
uh,
the only thing
no,
to do.
I try to coerce or steer some of the audience to different types of revelatory thoughts, but sometimes it falls on deaf ears, and
Uh,
other times it's well received.
sounds like you lifted that from Obama.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, that
interesting.
was.
You have hope. You have hope in
I
people.
do. I do have hope. I
In
have.
people.
Well, if you're willing to listen, then yeah, But some people aren't even willing to listen, and then that's just like,
I've noticed some people aren't even willing to watch the video that you put up before they comment on how shitty your video is. You know,
those are
and
the best
that
comments.
you know this well, if we're speaking about YouTube, the format itself is certainly designed to dead end early and often, and it's entertaining. It's rooted in the entertainment that's kept the media going for so long.
Yeah,
It's just another form of journalism where now we're at the interesting point where the common man has access to communicate back to the journalistic machine, so to speak.
yeah. It's like oh jeez, what was I gonna say? It's like hmm, damn, I lost the word. Something media. It's like interactive. It's like an interactive type media now. Like where we're creating content and we're interacting with the shows and the programs that we watch, and we can post
I may
comments
not get there with you.
and get be engaged on a on a higher level.
Are we still here?
I'm here. I you disappeared. I thought
Oh, well, somebody.
maybe it was
It
maybe it was
looks.
me. Was it you?
I don't know. Let's not get into the blame game.
Okay. So
Craig,
were you talking the whole time, or was I talking the whole time?
I was singing "God Bless America."
Oh,
I don't know what you were saying. No, I
well,
heard
no,
you.
I
No,
was
you got through, but
okay. You heard me.
all right. So now we're both here,
Yes.
and what you were saying to continue
Yeah. Interactive media. Yeah.
is certainly YouTube. Oh well, all forms of social media as it's presented certainly gives the impression that it's interactive. When I've now I see more and more, just because you can be shadow banned in so many different ways. Even my channel, I think there's 7 subscribers. 3 of them are you. Um, and still I'll leave comments on certain channels every once in a while because I'm not under the impression that these actually get read.
Yeah.
I'll log out and the comment is gone. I'll log back in, the comment's still gone.
Yeah.
I'll wait a week just out of curiosity, it's still gone. And then if I do, if it does go through, the great reward is a tiny little gray thumb,
Yeah.
and I made my mark.
Yeah. Somebody received the message.
So as long as you give the impression that there's interaction, that's when www dot Johnson and Johnson and www.cresttoothpaste.com started, and you could send your comments, and I think they had competitions, name your flavor and things like this. Who has time?
Yeah. Gone. You're gone again. Hmm. My connection says it's good. For some reason, I think it's lying to me. Hello. 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 Hello again. Do do do. Well, Craig's recording, and Ghost of Retardica may very well still be speaking, but we are unaware. Oh, he left. He left the recording studio. He's back in the recording studio.
Bro, hello.
Hello?
This is not funny game when you do these things. I'm saying some very important things and you take my voice off every time.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Craig or Verizon or what, but I'm sitting next to my router just about, so.
As long as you're I think if your router has one of those little rubber antennas
Uh-huh.
and you have organic coconut oil in the house, you just rub a little bit on the tip there. It's very similar to sitting down into a hard plastic recliner.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it just relax. You know,
That, that's,
they say push out, but that's not exactly perfect advice.
yeah.
And then just let it slide in there, and in about 10 minutes, uh, 1-year-old German shepherds should come your way and start biting on your flesh.
Yeah.
And I think the conversation will be right on track.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I am the United States of Retardica. This is DJ Mumbles Undertone McFlurry Breath the Turd.
And we are the musical fruits.
We are the musical fruits. You know, this is episode 7
Yeah.
of what's called the Breaking Wind
But
dialogue
who's
show.
counting? Who's counting?
Well, I am because I have to download this fucking thing
Yeah.
to compress it and then send it to you so that you can do
Yeah.
something with it.
So it's all in the name of file transfer.
Yeah, so that's the
Just
only
so it
reason.
doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just stare at the screen and it just says episode 6, episode 6, episode 6, 3.1 megabytes, 3.2 megabytes, 3.4 megabytes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I know, oh, the fans, boy, the fans, it must be, what do you think the fans are doing?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't,
There has to be a lot of jobs that we're just not aware of that go on behind the scenes. Um, because that video you sent me a thumbnail or a screenshot of one of my videos that didn't upload because of a copyright strike.
yeah, WMG.
Yeah, well, actually, there's two copyright strikes on that one video by
Yes.
by the same fucking douchebags. But
Ah,
my question is, I'm listening to a cassette tape in the background of the video I'm making, and 20 minutes in, the song comes on that they strike me down for copyright. So, like, who's sitting here listening to or watching or reviewing all of these uploads before they're actually get past the censorship? You
oh
know,
well, that's just algorithmic,
you think
uh,
it's purely algorithmic?
algorithmic bloodhounds. Sure, it's completely removed. There's no human presence there. I even when I mention something in some stupid video I put up on Ghost of Retardica, I'll get suggestions for things that I talked about
Yeah,
in the video, but
yeah,
but no, I wouldn't have written anything. There'll be no tags, nothing in the description. So it's not text based algorithmic stuff. So this shit scans uh, all layers at this point.
uh-huh.
Even
So you think maybe just like those claimants that might happen to own the content that I was, I had on in the background, like You think they're just like a selective bunch of jerk offs? Like, all right, well,
No, no, no,
the
no.
people
That's
that own the rights to these songs don't want their songs to be used because there's other songs in the video. There's like 20 minutes worth of music before I get to the one song that's copyright blocked. So
yeah, but the thing is, it's
yeah,
just it's not a perfect system. But WMG, I looked it up because it didn't strike me. It's Warner Music Group.
yeah.
So that's whatever Warner Music Group. It's gonna go through there and find it's gonna find
But
something,
you
and
know,
it's
to
just a
my
it's a
logic is just like it's on their platform, it's their content, and it's on their platform. So where's the harm?
yeah, but you're but you're using logic.
Ah,
Yeah. You
yeah.
see, when has that ever applied to any of your situations?
Hmm.
I mean, in your personal situations, logic is indispensable, I'd say. But as soon as I step outside my front door, when I try to employ said logic,
Yeah.
I'm ridiculed, abused, ostracized, and mocked.
So you think it's all artificial intelligence? There's
Well,
no.
not artificial intelligence. It's software, you
Well,
know.
that's what's kind of
Yeah, but
But I mean,
I you
just the
you
program. It's just a program that's running.
it's a hair trigger thing. For example, I was getting
So I'm
I
just trying to like, can we just start like trying to sing a Led Zeppelin song and like see if we could get a copyright strike by
no,
singing
you
it? Like if I played it like exact in like a cover, like if I decided to cover a song and I made it like so much like the original that you think these algorithms will copyright strike me even though
well,
I'm
it's like
performing live?
it's like, stomping through a minefield. You're bound to trigger something at some point, but I think it would have to be in the format of binary code ones and zeros, offs and ons. So in the digital detection, the bloodhound would only sniff the scent of a perfect pattern that would be, for example, uh, like a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox. At a certain point, is not going to pick it up. It's not going to give a shit. But
Right.
you would think playing a shitty audio cassette in the background on your phone
Yeah.
wouldn't be detected. But
Yeah.
I'm sure it's to the point if I say something about the cost of a hollow thing, and I say certain words reversed, or I'm talking about my new lampshade company
Mm-hmm.
where I use a new kind of designer fabric
Right.
from Poland.
Right.
That's a little bit too obscure to cause me any trouble. But if
Mm,
I were to employ, kike potato technology,
yeah.
it might even trigger something there. So is it words? I think as far as music, it's just got to detect that perfect 1-0 rhythm. But if
Yeah.
it's obscured enough, if you put more distortion, which is what the fans really want from your videos anyway.
Maybe I'll play it slowed down.
Yeah. No, a lot of people do that when they upload full albums to YouTube, and then the viewer there's an understanding that the viewer changes the speed
Yeah. Set it
when
to
listening to it. Yeah, or if you're gonna
play it.
pirate pirate uh, movies,
Yeah.
you can kind of obscure it, play it a little bit uh, at a different speed, or put some noise in it, like snowflakes falling or something like that. I think I watched 12 Monkeys with like some kind of
Snowflakes.
snowflakes in front of it.
Yeah.
And
Uh, Wait. Radio silence. Radio silence. Come on, get out. Are you still talking? Hello? Hello? Are you back? I see you keep popping in and out of this voice channel. Or perhaps it's me.
Now listen,
Yeah.
it's time for the dog to start biting you.
Yeah, she was just here while
Get the fuck out.
interrupted the communication again.
Well, here we go. What we got to do, we're opening up the Sky Dome right now. It's always at this time for rush hour.
Yeah, that's true.
5:05, 5 o'clock, 5:05 is our traditional German Shepherd station break. And that's when the skies open and our show is sabotaged
Because of
by
stupid commerce.
because you
Stupid,
stupid,
stupid
greedy corporate whores.
fucking commerce. You know,
And it's true. It's true.
I went to Rome's today.
Rome's New
Rome.
York.
No, Lowe's upside down. Lowe's.
Lordy,
Lowe's
lordy.
flipped. Lowe's flipped 180 as Rome's.
Great. Just great.
So I went to Rome and got to witness the stupidity firsthand. You
Oh,
know, like
man.
you fucking. I go in there for like two things. You know, like I just want some mulch. I wanted to get some mulch, and like you can't find a flat cart wagon anywhere. You got to walk around the store looking for a wagon.
You gotta find one of those retards with a vest walking around
Well,
with
that's the problem. There's like a thousand fucking retards with blue vests, and they're all just doing inventory. Like you can't do this stuff at night. You know,
No.
you all have to
No.
get here at fucking 8 o'clock just to add the traffic, so you can fucking stock shelves. Like,
Gotta work.
stock the shelves at night. Let the customers in during the day. What the fuck?
You
You
gotta
know?
burn. You gotta burn off the egg McMuffin somehow.
Well, yeah, they want to fucking create as much stir and like
Yeah.
instead of splitting up the workload, let the people go to work at night that are supporting commerce, and then
Ah, here you
consume
go.
let the consumers consume how they normally consume. But you can't. I don't know. It's
Here you go with logic again.
like trying to feed the pigs when they're hungry. You know,
Ah.
they're gonna attack you until they got the food. And you got to feed them first, so they're distracted, so you get to the food.
Well, now you're too smart for your own good. I mean, I bet when you found one of the fucking carts, it had only had 3 working wheels.
I brought it over to like the mulch section after I finally found wagons. I went over to the mulch section and I pretty much just got discouraged, so I made a mess with a couple of bags of mulch and left. But
Did you?
uh,
Did you like kick them? Throw, throw a fit? Just
yeah,
fucking throw a fit?
I always make a fit. I always make a scene, And
Yeah.
anytime I'm out in public and there's some sort of scenario of absurdity like that,
Oh.
I usually make it known that I'm experiencing, uh, some uncomfortable
Oh, yeah.
feelings and emotions. So
Yeah. Well, this is what we were talking about last episode, which your practical advice helped me a lot, where you watch the man scream at his lawnmower. You know, it doesn't always work 100% because you forget to employ that tactic.
yeah, you got to police yourself.
Ah, there you go. Otherwise, you wound up uh, destroying some other man's bag of mulch.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, oh, fuck. So you left it there, right? You
Oh yeah,
threw a temper tantrum and went home
yes,
like a big boy.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
But then I went to the farmers market.
did you murder anyone?
At the farmers market? No, I
You
make
probably got.
love. I make love, not war.
Oh yeah, I make I make wind, not sense.
Yeah, I went over to the farm stand, or
That's the
what do they
stuff.
call it? It's kind of like a crop share, like a CSA, like a community.
Yeah, yeah. Community shared
Share.
agriculture.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Another TLA.
So I'll talk to you later.
No, a three-letter acronym. T.
Oh Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a big highlight of my day. I got all
Yeah.
the less than show quality vegetables and fruits to bring home for the animals.
I see.
Yeah,
Clever.
yeah,
Clever.
they certainly enjoy it.
Oh
Enjoy it.
yeah, they do. You're good to those animals.
Oh yeah, I tell you, I made asparagus.
Yeah, you ruined the last show by making asparagus.
No, what happened with last show, I started to make the asparagus. I got as far as turning the grill on and taking the asparagus out of the refrigerator. But by the time I went up there to cook it, I was out of propane. So today I went and got propane. So I had some fuel, so I was able to cook off that asparagus. But yeah,
Ah,
the animals got at least 75% of it. Uh,
wow.
yeah.
Again, your
Yeah,
weight
it's
loss
usually,
program is highly successful.
yeah, but it's the things that I don't share that really get me.
Yeah. you you holding on to the good stuff?
Yeah.
Man, this is why people tune in.
Well,
It's like talking to your favorite uncles that you only get to see at a funeral. You, and you get all the backstories, including propane, going to Lowe's.
oh man, what a clusterfuck! I tell you.
Oh,
And then like all these fucking people up here, they're just so fucking brain dead and stupid.
up up there too, huh?
Yeah, it's probably everywhere. It's a pandemic type situation.
Well, it's a television virus. I mean, that's well, I we're immersed in this we're immersed in this media that reproduces itself so quickly you can't get your footing.
Well,
The stupidity is egregious.
I think a lot of it uh, stems from the diet as well, and
Oh, for sure.
a lot of these a lot of these people are like literally the Walking Dead zombies that eat their own fucking kind and eat flesh of dead animals that its last moments were spent fearing for its life. And that's again assuming animals have feelings, but I mean
Well, I mean,
it's pretty demonstrable to see that animals are conscious and sentient beings.
well, sure, and that's just the small potatoes right there. That's on the subtle level. On the gross level, it's just pure poisoning.
Yeah, but
You know?
you're putting all that negativity. I mean, think of all
No, I
the
agree.
all those pigs that get fucking mistreated and slaughtered every
Mm-hmm.
fucking day. All of that fear and bad intention is going out into the atmosphere. It doesn't
Well,
disappear. It doesn't
well,
disappear. You either eat it or it's in the atmosphere. So
well. Every
you
time I
have you
bite
have
into a
control of
piece
one.
of,
You have control of one, but
well, this is true. And every time I bite into a piece of gristle in my sausage, I hear the squealing of diseased pigs in my mind, and I swallow it because I don't want to destroy the atmosphere. Because this is a green revolution, my friend,
yeah,
and I give a hoot. I'm not going to Ricky retard this recycling project. I'm going to win this game of life.
in it to win it.
Yeah, I'm in this playing motherfucking chess.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, we're in a we're in a constant state of alternating contradiction, which leads to frustration and confusion. We're taught to behave in one way, but the media provokes us to react in the complete opposite way.
Yeah,
And it creates an internal dysfunction in each individual person, and it expresses itself on whole and becomes well the aftershock of it, just the fart of the whole thing dominates the physical reality if you let it get to you. Quote, Mumbles,
yeah,
undertone, McFlurry breath,
yeah.
episode 2.
Don't let it get you down.
Yeah, don't let it get you down. That's the game, right? So you gotta piece it all together. So
Yeah.
one way I did that is I just fucking believe in space now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it. Why not?
I did fucking Donald Trump doing a good job, I think, and
Well,
milk does my body good. So blow me.
just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, fuck it. I
Yeah.
can't beat them.
Yep. Exactly.
Join them. That's
Join.
why I like. That's where I like where we've washed up on shore, the island of misfit toys. You just have to embrace. You have to go full retard to navigate it,
Mhm.
and it's my own fault that I had any expectation that logic and sincerity would improve my life. No one ever, no one ever really told me
Oh.
that that was true. I was led to believe that, and it's my fault that I got suckered into it. But now that I understand, there never has ever been any logic or sincerity that's been rewarded in groups in mass, and it's up to you to figure that shit out. Shrink down your perspective, circle the wagons,
Yeah.
and you don't become defensive and paranoid, but become aware that any light that you harbor and maintain and create is going to attract, the attention of bloodthirsty vampires, and those could be people in your family, could be
Mhm.
people you work with, could be people you thought were your friends,
Yep.
because we're all behaving in this way that just is beaten into us through there's no line to be drawn between government, religion, military, and journalism and media presentation. It's all it's all the same. It's all the same beast.
Yeah.
So even if you manage to wiggle away from media as I've attempted to do, I'm an extreme case. Like I'm pretty much I'm on board with you. Like less screen the better. Like I'm just not I'm not consuming screen material. I didn't even know Mario Batali was accused of raping me, but I hashtagged me too, and next thing I know, I'm in the running.
Nice.
Yeah. So there are ways to profit from disaster. I just haven't really figured it out completely. But I think if you accuse your enemies of pedophilia and rape, you might stand to gain something. But it's all bread and circus, and if you're not following that, you're following sports. Whatever.
Are you talking about the Holocaust?
Now listen, the Holocaust is my favorite sport.
Yeah.
I like to dribble up and down the court. I can't
Yeah.
remember how that rhyme went.
I don't really know the one you're referring to.
Curtis Blow,
Oh.
1938.
Ah.
The birth of hip hop.
Hip hop? 1938? Hip
Yeah.
hop?
Yeah, do your history. Don't you know history is a lie?
Yeah, it's all a lie.
Hip hop was born in 1627-35. The fuck? You can tell if you just listen to the beats. It goes a 1, a 2, a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 2, and a 3 and a 4.
Yeah.
Obvious. It
Yeah.
goes right back. All roads lead to Lowe's.
Yeah. They didn't go up like past 4 or 5 back then.
No, they didn't have any need for it.
You date things that way. It's kind of like
Oh,
carbon dating.
it's exactly like carbon dating. You remember
Yeah.
that episode we tried to tie everything together in 15 minutes?
Yeah. That was no good. But,
It was it was awesome.
yeah.
And I have it all in my head. I can just see I can see every single tie-in, and there's just no way I am ever going to invest the energy in trying to articulate it or draw it out into a pie chart, or what they call that, a Venn diagram.
Ow, stop biting, you motherfucker.
Right
Stop.
on time. Tune in to the Breaking Wind Dialogue Show every Tuesday at 33.3 FM.
Motherfucker's dragging me around.
You know,
Shirt sleeve. Stop.
all you got to do is say Holocaust, and German shepherds come running.
That's probably what it was. I'm not a
Maybe
Jew. Stop.
that's your problem, buddy.
Vivi, cut it out. Stop biting. No.
VIVID, vivid.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
That-
Stop it. Stop it.
They didn't exactly have the 4/4 beat down.
They don't. The problem is they don't listen until I fucking snap.
Well, it's just like those bags of mulch. You just gotta
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like
go hard.
my thing. It's like I'll be like mellow fucking yellow all day, and then just like just like the most minor thing, I guess. I mean that's what my wife said yesterday. Like I just fucking fly off the handle, like really quick.
Yeah, because they don't understand. You're at your threshold constantly. Like we're maxed out.
Yeah.
I can't speak for you,
That's
but
that's what I told her. I said that you have to understand that I'm always on the verge of losing my.
yeah. I mean, it is lucky for her. You can even go get some propane to grill that asparagus.
Yeah.
Remind her how lucky she is.
All those vegetables I bought today.
Yeah, just point to the things that you did really well and make a big deal out of it.
Yep.
And then
highlight the good.
Yeah, highlight the good, and then just kind of stay in the basement and paint the rest of the time until she needs something, and then when she needs something, just fucking do it.
Yeah, that's all.
Don't give her any trouble.
It's really a lot easier if you
Oh, it's a lot easier. Oh man, where's your router?
It's to my right.
All right.
Why,
Listen,
chopping up again?
yeah, you're getting choppy. Right
Oh,
after your dog starts to bite you, you always get choppy.
is it because maybe my phone is plugged in now? Okay,
You,
or
I don't know. You're gonna have to call one of those like 19-year-old boys in the with the white shirts and the blue van to come and explain it to you.
uh, I hope not. Maybe
No,
let's try unplugging the phone. Does it sound?
uh, it just it gives you it just chops you out. You know, there's a setting. Oh fuck! Here we go. Tech talk. There's a setting in this app that you can adjust the sensitivity of. I think it's in the gear section at the bottom of your screen.
Gear section?
There's a fucking gear down there that's shaped
Oh,
like
oh, okay.
it's shaped like the fucking Jewish
Yeah,
star.
yeah. I got it. Okay, voice
And then
activity.
I think go voice activity and
Do I
let's
just want
see
always on?
auto sensitivity.
Yeah, that's on.
You got echo cancellation.
Yeah, that's on.
Maybe there's something to be said. Let's try echo cancellation. Click that off and then read from the book of Mumbles. Let's test it.
You want to test this now?
Yeah, why
Okay.
not? Before the dog comes back.
Someone who finds it crazy to suppose that a thermostat might have conscious experiences at least owes us an account of just why it is crazy.
You,
Presumably, this is because there is a property that thermostats lack that is obvious required for experience. But for my part, no such property reveals itself as obvious. Perhaps there is a crucial ingredient in processing that the thermostat lacks that the mouse possesses, or that the mouse lacks and the human possesses. But I can see no such ingredient that is obviously required for experience, and indeed it is not obvious that such an ingredient must exist.
you sound exactly like James Earl Jones now.
Oh yeah? Is that
Is
good? Bad?
is that is that echo cancellation off?
Yeah, the echo cancellation is off.
All right, so let's try that for a while and see if we can keep Mumbles. It always happens around 5 o'clock ish, so
Well,
it's got
like you said, it's probably something to do with all traffic, you know?
fuck, it's not working again. Echo cancellation fucked
Well,
us.
maybe I'm just not talking loud enough.
Well, you're talking fine, like in the beginning. Do you have headphones?
What if I turn
I don't know. Whatever you turned, you're gone.
what about now? Can you hear me now?
I I hear you.
Oh. Yeah, I turned the auto sensitivity off and I disappeared, I suppose.
Oh, when you do that, you have to like push a. There's like a a button that comes up that you have to push, like a CB radio. So some people have to use that,
Oh, you have to
like
press the button.
especially
Look.
yeah, especially when you. But I don't think that's something you want to fuck around with. You already got to chop all the trees, you know.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get this iPhone. This iPhone has been nothing but a problem for me since I got it.
Well, that's bad news
Yeah,
because those
John
things aren't cheap.
John Lennon really let me down on this one.
He fucking did, man.
Yeah,
Oh well, good. I'm glad we're on board with who
yeah,
John Lennon truly is.
yeah, yeah. And
Did
but
you know? Did you know
yeah,
Goldbug is a story written by Edgar Allan Poe?
I did not know that.
And the story of Gold Bug
Yeah.
is a man who was considered delusional by his friend was bitten by a gold-colored bug,
Uh-huh.
and his friend called for help from another friend to come and visit this man because he was afraid he was losing his mind.
Right.
And he became obsessed with finding a hidden treasure. And whoever he spoke to was enamored with this story of the hidden treasure and couldn't resist following this delusional man to uh, to whatever the hidden treasure was. It was some allegory for, occulted knowledge or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And in the end, somebody takes their mask off and rut-roll.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. And then John Lennon is making your talkie device so that we can have a dialogue show.
A choppy one at that.
Fucking A, these fucking people, you think they get it right.
Yeah, really.
They did actually put a man on the moon after all.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
where my Velcro came from and my powdered orange drink, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
think they could fix this fourth wheel on this rolly cart?
Yeah, all the wheels are you know, you get a wagon with like four wheels that swivel.
You got one that's just got hair from just like, generations of dead employees. You got one wheel that's, just got murk and grime and dirt and like the rat poison jammed up all in the ball bearings.
Yeah.
uh, Another one that just has a chunk taken out of it just for no reason.
Flat
Hard.
spot.
Okay. Sick him, boy, sick him. Chew
Yeah.
that dirty Holocaust denier. Chew him.
Yeah, no, the wife got home, so the dog gets excited.
Yeah. Well, you should be excited too, because that's the only thing keeping you from losing your mind, probably.
Yeah, well, I guess.
Or I don't know. It's good to have another human being around you that
Sometimes.
yeah. Well, even if they're far away and you don't see them, as long as they're legally obligated to you, you're good.
Yeah.
Um, you inspired me, and it's not surprising that you were looking for mulch today because I was doing the same thing, looking for mulch.
Really?
And then I decided there ain't no way in hell I'm going over to those stores
Yeah.
and going through them retards and listening to that fucking music. Every time I walk down an aisle, there's some electronic device that goes bing, doom,
Yeah.
bing, doom.
Yep.
And it's got screens everywhere, and the fluorescent lighting is giving me the wobbles. I
Yeah.
said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna steal some mulch from the next city tree that I see, because
Yeah.
now's the time of year to put out some mulch." But I couldn't find any good mulch that didn't have feces or uh, rotten panties on it. So
Right. Well,
we're
use
stuck in the middle.
prophylactic.
On the daily.
Yeah.
What's a day without a knotted prophylactic in my way?
Yeah.
These things get to you, my friend.
Yeah. They do. They
But
add up. Built.
they add up. They add up. It's the little things. But you
Buzz.
inspired me to read from something I found from a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Your poetry has always intrigued me long before we ever communicated through the tubes,
Uh huh.
and long before we ever reached the stardom that we've achieved with this broadcast. And I think it would be interesting for the viewers to hear some of my poetry from days gone by.
Yeah, that would be good.
This is poetry from many years ago, inspired by the city, and it's entitled "Pizza." Pizza is a food you can eat when you are walking. New York City residents chew it while they're talking. Mozzarella cheese, tomato sauce, and perfect crust come flying out of your mouth eating pizza on the bus. On the train, on your stoop, or wherever you are. Damn, we love pizza. Eat that pizza in your car. Turn up the radio, chat on the cell phone, fold up a nice slice, get the kids, and drive home. Take the long, scenic route through Secaucus, New Jersey. Enjoy your slice of pizza. Tell your kids not to worry. You bought a large pie, and everybody gets a slice. The ingredients are fresh, and your wife looks nice. Papa John's, he's a dip. Let the dominoes fall. Pizza Hut is pizza butt. Leave Sbarro at the mall. Red Baron, Tombstone, frozen non-believers. Leave that fake-ass pizza in your grocer's freezer. United States of Pizza. While we sing the Star Spangled. Pizza in the Middle East and peace to triangles. Pizza lovers pizza is the pizza that we eat, and we eat a lot of pizza to that pizza eating beat. Ain't it neat how we eat all the pizza that we want, making all the suckers jealous with the pizza that we flaunt. All beef, all meat, no phony pepperoni. Eating up the slices like my name was Tony. Italiano tank top, my shirt is my napkin. Excuse my behavior, cause my pizza is lip smacking. I'm chomping and chewing. Everything that I'm doing is supporting pizzerias leaving boxes in ruin. Empty boxes in the street, empty boxes on my floor, empty boxes in the garbage. But yo, who's that at the door? It's that kid from Luigi's with another pizza pie. Well, tip him really well and take that pizza from that guy. Pizza lovers pizza is the pizza that we eat, and we eat a lot of pizza to that pizza eating beat. Ain't it neat how we eat all the pizza that we want, making all the suckers jealous with the pizza that we flaunt. Thank you.
That's awesome.
I had a
That's
little
that was the best. That was the best pizza in a cup I ever had.
well, well, it doesn't stop there. I have another one called Trucks.
Ooh.
But I just wanted to wet your willy, as it were.
Yeah, no, that it sounded good. You know, the prose was good, and yeah, it was nice.
Well, it's written for a Run DMC style beat played on the ukulele.
Yeah, and I got all of the references too.
Oh, well, you've been doing your homework.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people who work at Home Depot don't get those references.
No.
It seems to go right over their head. It doesn't even go in one ear and out the other. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
That's why I enjoy these podcasts. I don't like podcasts. It's broadcasts. It's dialogues.
yeah. Yeah. No pods here.
Yeah, fuck a pod. Pods are for peas. And we're full of shit. Hey, by the way, those windbreakers.
Yeah.
When are they supposed to?
Well, I'm still waiting. I was hoping you would bring these up. I'm really excited about these windbreakers. I'm just as far as the order fulfillment, it's going to be a task because each windbreaker is hand customized by me. Uh,
Oh,
so what it is basically is you provide your size, and every windbreaker will be 100% completely different. Uh,
some might not have arms or.
right, they might not all fit the same. They might not even be windbreakers, but what they will be custom handled by me before hitting the mail. What I
This.
intend to do is hit all of the Goodwill thrift stores and in the and purchase all said windbreakers and uh, perhaps iron on some sort of vinyl graphic.
Ah,
Free ship.
Well, it sounds like people will probably want to pick up more than one of these,
I would
especially
think so.
if you're gonna snuggle with your honey at the boardwalk, at sunset while you're eating funnel cake or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, you wouldn't have matching breaking windbreakers, but
Well, there could be that rare occurrence where I find two of the same windbreakers, like a his and hers, like his and hers tracksuit. I could probably make something like that work.
like a bicycle for two, where they're attached,
Yeah,
like like those
attach
fucking
a sleeve at the end of the sleeve.
yeah, like those fucking Siamese twin thumbnails that keep popping up on my screen.
Oh yeah, you keep getting those.
I keep getting a lot of stuff. And no matter how much I ignore it, it just it insists that I need to see it,
Yeah.
and I don't even do it as a joke. I want it to be known that I'm fully disinterested.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
No, because
Uh,
if we're gonna be dialoguing like this, I love that. Well, we're spending minimal amounts of money, I think, on this broadcast.
yes.
We can say that. So the tools that have been accidentally provided to us are certainly useful.
Yeah.
I'm getting my money's worth out of this.
This is certainly the minimalistic approach.
Oh Lord, howdy! I don't even think there's any way for an audience to find these, uh, unless they type in exactly with in between each word with the underscore.
Yeah.
Uh, if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not gonna find it.
Perfect. It's
Which
like
is
the Tartugala, right? The
yeah,
island you can't find unless you've already been there.
but at least they can prevent you from uploading any of your larger paintings and artwork onto the tube
Yeah.
by detecting, uh,
A
you know,
fucking 50
popular
some odd,
musical renditions.
yeah, a 50 some odd year old fucking played out song that, is basically on in the background in any fucking building you walk into anywhere ever.
Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy.
But, I get a copyright.
my mulch bags are trembling. I
Yeah.
hear you. This is what I mean. Being stuck in between. We're not even stuck in between. We're just fully immersed in the shit. But you got some space up there, and I will say, last episode, the practical applications of the visualizations that you provided were beneficial to me. Uh, while I was peeling an apple, I could watch myself losing my mind as each time I ran the peeler across my apple, I found a, another bruise or a wormhole,
Just,
and the deeper I sliced, the more the philosopher's stone revealed itself to me. And before I knew it, the $3 I spent on this fucking apple was laying in slivers in the bottom of my sink. Uh, and it gives me the same feeling as like a chunk taken out of the fourth wheel in my rolly cart. It's just shit. It's just
yeah,
constant shit.
yeah,
And if you get a shit apple, like if you just get I don't know what to call it, a regular person apple, it's
mhm,
either gigantic, which is still going to be such and such amount a pound.
yeah,
I don't need a pumpkin sized fucking apple. You're not doing
yeah,
me any
yeah.
favors.
Just extra sugar.
you know but then when you slice it, you can feel right away it's just mealy. It's like wet sawdust
Yeah,
wrapped in some sort of artificially you know high gloss waxed
yeah.
plastic container.
That's the worst.
And you know, I don't even gamble with that shit anymore. Or an avocado. Only good avocado you can get is an organic one. I don't want to pay for this shit. $3.50 for an avocado, and it's still a gamble. You get
Yeah,
all those little brown strings in there. Mexican night's over.
yeah. Well, you got like more scarcity, where you're at. So I guess the stuff is more expensive, for sure.
God damn, man.
But
They
yeah,
don't make it easy.
yeah, it's certainly something you need to be aware of.
Yeah, you got to build it into your calculations for sure.
Yeah, that when slicing into an apple, you might find a wormhole.
Boy, I never got out. It sucks in there. I've actually become the worm making the hole.
Mm,
How about that?
making light of the situation.
Oh, watch them wheels spin round and round.
Speaking of making light, I know we touched on that
Ah,
very briefly.
good one.
You said making light as or I think referencing
Mm,
some sort
hu-
of joke or
humor, yeah.
humor, but yeah, I was
That was awesome.
getting back into that sonoluminescence that the dolphin create
Yeah,
underwater. So I think that's a lot of this is just like a cosmic game, and the ones that get
yeah,
the ones that get it just get it, and they try to enjoy it. It's just like a simulation where you just gotta fucking play the games. Like this. These are the tools that we have at our disposal. I.e., the human body, and
hmm,
all of the shit around us is what basically it's all our input to program us. So you could actively work at becoming conscious and ascending. You could work
oh,
toward
sure.
and elevate above it. And just
Well,
laugh off.
well, I think that's it. I love that you caught that that moment making light. That I sat in that just those two words that you made that comment. I was like, God damn, I got to go listen to that again, and it just tumbled out of my mouth. And you caught it. That's one of the great things about these dialogues. And then it struck me in a way that I can't even articulate it. It's just totally satisfying. If I grasp at it, I'm going to lose it. But
Yeah,
like the power of laughter, you even said laughing is great exercise, and I never thought about that, never considered that. And but making light, that's a that's a and it's like when the electricity goes out in a building and the only thing illuminated exit signs. That's what making light is like for me. I go there it is.
yeah,
That's the way out. Laughing, not buying shit, not
yeah,
falling into the media. Uh, it,
yeah.
the
Just
the
laugh,
re, the qu- mm?
just laugh at them.
It's just laughing at them. But if you don't feel it, that laughter is difficult to uh, you know pull out. It's either there or it's not.
Yeah,
And you again, like those moments at Lowe's and stuff, the only solution for me is don't go.
yeah,
Just don't. Just if you go into the casino, you're going to lose money. If
yeah,
you if your energy is as valuable as money, so to speak, don't go to places that are going to eat your energy, and that limits my physical existence to such a degree that I won't take certain jobs anymore, which means I'm not pulling in a certain income anymore. But also, I'm not pulling in that income. I have a lot more time to focus on these things that I never had time before, which is like shitting rocks out of my ass,
yeah,
uh, coming from my liver, and spending some time. blowing some wind back and forth, you know,
Yeah.
with my imaginary friend. And
Yeah. I gotta bring you. I'm gonna bring you some. Do you do any seed sprouting at all?
I do the mung beans,
Just mung beans?
and then I just started. I've been collecting when the spring comes. I've been collecting all of my seeds from my vegetables and stuff, and then I just throw them out into the random dirt piles in my front yard, my dirt buckets. But yeah, you got some. You must have something up there.
Yeah, I'll bring you some of that. Some of those sprouting trays where you could
Oh,
seed.
that's great stuff, man.
Yeah, it's like the size of a plate, and you
Yeah, yeah,
have like 2 or 3 days every maybe week, every week or so, like I don't know, 2 or 3 tablespoons of seeds
yeah,
will yield you like 7 pounds of leafy greens.
yeah. That's the best. I had some. What did I have? Sunflower sprouts. Of course, I got to get them from the market because I haven't started the routine. Once you get the wheel going, it just takes
Yeah,
you get sick of sprouts, honestly.
yeah.
But
I was
but they're
doing it
so
where
nutritious.
I did it where I was like starting a tray every other day, and like I always had a constant cycle of new sprouts coming in.
Oh, it's the best.
And oh, the dogs love them too. Like I used to give it to
Yeah,
dogs on their dog food, and they would fucking gobble that stuff up, man.
it's
Just
highly nutritious.
so
It's like eating fetuses.
yeah, it's the it's the plant fetuses that you're eating.
I had some broccoli sprouts a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago. They're
very
nice and
nutrient
spicy.
dense. Very
Yeah,
nutrient dense.
yeah. So listen to that, windbreakers out there. We're not just fucking around here. We're giving good advice.
And now you could go as far as carrying around a moist hemp bag in your pocket with these said sprouts and
Yeah.
sprouting sprouting on the go
Well,
24/7.
well, if you build that into my windbreaker,
Yeah, I'll
I'll
have
throw you an extra federal note or two.
yeah, hemp lined pockets for sprouting seeds.
Just put it on the back, and as the sprouts grow out, it spells out Mumbles and Retardica,
Yeah, yeah.
or maybe our like faces in profile or something like that.
I had so many things in the course of now from last time we talked. I'm just like trying to jog my memory. I had so many things
Oh,
that are just like
that happens to me too. It that's good because it shows the wheels are turning. It's like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
but it you know I never expect myself to remember anything.
yeah.
I just I hours on end. But it cracked. I was laying in bed, and a lady started laughing at me because I was laughing every couple of seconds. I got my headphones on, and she's reading. She starts cracking up because I'm making myself like belly laughing, listening to
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you're talking about or what. I can't.
Contagious. It's
Oh,
contagious.
it's great, man. These are great shows just for me. I think I think we are the audience.
Yeah,
Like
well, whatever. The
I
audience,
love it.
the audience base will grow. After once this is like a few years old.
Oh God, that's so crazy. You know, every week I think about quitting too because I just go, oh, maybe this is just such a I'm losing my mind. Maybe this isn't healthy. I just Chris Hayden plays guitars in outer space. Chris Hayden plays guitars in outer space. Go back to sleep. Break.
Yeah,
Just whatever.
just a dream.
It's just a dream, man.
Yeah.
but I keep coming back for more. A glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
It's just
well, you got to explore the mysteries. Yeah.
I am I do like I'm too old now, and I've I've devised too many projects at various levels of failure.
Yeah.
A couple have struck pay dirt, but not for very long. So I don't have expectations that anything will happen. But when I was younger, if I were to embark on the Breaking Wind dialogue show, I would be doing all kinds of work. I have all kinds of late night fantasies about how to promote it and all this other sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just laugh at the energy, the wheels that I spun. This young whippersnapper,
Yeah.
like shows I used to do, making flyers and sending out PR. When I worked at the porn magazine, I had a lot of contacts in Los Angeles, and I learned how to write copy for uh, you send out to the PR departments, just various media outlets, local news networks, and things like that. And it's very formulaic. You basically write your own 2 paragraph interview. You kind of interview yourself
Yeah.
as if it's a journalist. And you send it out, and at the top in bold print, there's a format for it. You say for immediate release, and you can promote a fake book that you're writing or an actual show that you're performing. And there's always some segment of the newspaper or online where they'll print it because they need content to fill up pages,
Yeah.
and it's free. So like entertainment guides and things like that are dying to get. If you do the work for them, they'll put it in there. So I learned you could pull all kinds of pranks and things. So I would do all kinds of like art shows that never happened, just saying using funny words, and they would print it. And I thought, wow, man, there's a lot of power here. So when I went on tour doing my burlesque pizza raps with my ukulele and stripper friends,
Yeah.
uh, you know, we didn't make any great shakes, but people people saw it and came out, and it was satisfying. But um, the fucking energy I spent, the fucking energy, man. People, uh, oh my god. I had another group. It'll remain nameless, but it was me and another guy. We made our own music and did our raps, our crap raps or whatever. This is before lo-fi hip hop or anything, and we were
Yeah.
just really bad. But when we did shows, they were people enjoyed them, and so I just kept writing and doing this stuff. But man, I had all these fantasies. Oh, we're gonna go on tour to Japan because the Japanese will really understand this. It's you get all these things stuck in your head. It's like if I can just mimic Jay-Z's style and
Yeah.
kind of do a Weird Al version of New York, and you stay up late at night and you invest energy into these fantasies, and it's not for nothing, I suppose. But all in all, I don't know. Where 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 do we find ourselves now? I feel like we're crawling out of the fetid womb of the journalistic media monster, and we're just starting to toddle into our basements and studios to paint and to kind of throw our poop at the wall. Like
Yeah.
right, I I give myself some leeway to say at least I'm here now. Like I shipwrecked,
Yeah.
but at least all that stuff is behind me.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
feel? Do you feel any reason to live? Like,
Well,
where does your
now
motivation come from?
my motivation now is really just the exploration of life. I don't.
Just to
I don't
watch it?
yeah, I don't have any like aspirations or goals
Yeah.
succeed in business or have a company or I don't really give a fuck about any of that, like owning stuff. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't really to a degree, sure, I want to be comfortable. I want to fucking have things at my disposal that I like to do, and uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I, whether I need to rely on a system of money so I can provide the things that I want to make my life enjoyable, that's, a whole other fucking ball of wax. But yeah, I mean, what really is doing it for me is just like the exploration of consciousness and seeing, just how far this actually goes. Like, how far into the depths and recesses of mind can I go? And
Hmm.
trying to, I guess work on myself. This is kind of like the whole meaning of the movie The Groundhog Day there with
Oh yeah.
Bill Murray. It
Sure.
wasn't, he didn't get out of the time, the loop that he was in until he actually uh, invested in himself and actually, became a master of his craft, if you will.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
That's, uh, that's kind of what I want to do, just explore all the things that I always had interest for. And, whether it's, doing it home in my basement or I got to go fucking sign up for a college course, which, I'd hate to fucking become one of them collegiate, who's
Get one of them old guys.
well, no,
Fucking Rodney Dangerfield back to school.
yeah, I just watched that the other day.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, on Hulu or no,
Oh, good
on
Lord.
YouTube. On YouTube.
And we never stop. Of
On
all the things
YouTube.
you could have fucking watched and all the things I could say and reference.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube Premium there under the Breaking Wind.
Wow.
but
Well,
what
you
what
said
when
something. You had a making light moment right there. You said becoming a master of the craft, and for some
yeah
reason, I just thought spacecraft, and I thought, oh wow. As you were talking, I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's where I'm at now. Is sort of I've neglected my instrument,
yeah
meaning my body, my instrument for experiencing mostly horror. But as I back out of that state of mind, I realize there's a lot of subtlety I'm missing out on. And so fine tuning my instrument by doing the cleanses or whatnot, I don't get into the dogma of it, but every time I do experience lightness and whatnot, and I used to think of the body as I used to call it a meat suit or a
yeah
spaceship,
yeah
and I got lost in that idea, and I thought, oh wow, really, it is a time machine. And you said master your craft, and I thought, oh, spacecraft. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, a body is a spacecraft,
yeah
and you must become master of your craft anyway. Who gives a fuck? That it was just a little moment right there. All
absolutely
these, I like that idea going in. We're constantly enticed and Pied Piper into the out
yeah
into the apple hole,
yeah
and
they
we
want
just keep worming through it, and we keep eating it and going through it. We don't realize that we're leaving a trail of shit behind us.
right.
And
They want everybody going to the museums,
oh my god,
old
man.
the past, like come out and fucking experience
and
art.
that's and that's time. That's another time
Yeah,
trap.
yeah,
And
yeah,
to focus on your craft, or to focus on your your spaceship, your body, or your instrument of experience. The first thing that has to go is your identity as a individual, as a person. You really have to die, get to the self. you
yeah,
have to you have to kill the self. You have to destroy the self, and the only way to kill the self is to un, is to grok that the self is rooted in time. And
Yeah.
once the time goes away, then you're just sitting there with a clear slate, and that's when the laugh might kick in, or that sort of satisfaction.
Yeah.
But boy, that's heavy lifting for a motherfucker. You know
Yeah.
that I get it, man. I just want to go back to outer space and just drink Pabst Blue Ribbon until I get sleepy.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember hanging out, right? You know, I don't know. I mean, I think it's, if anything, it's more experience. I wouldn't trade it for, like, you know, as opposed to like not going out. Like, what would my alternative have been to going out and partying all night? Sitting home and fucking watching TV, or.
Yeah, there's nothing to do. I
Yeah.
mean, you're
So
just gonna do it one way or the other.
yeah, I mean, for a while, I used to spend my fucking nights in the bar room, and for a while, I was doing martial arts and stopped drinking altogether, and just
Yeah.
focusing on martial arts. And like it just kind of like that kind of goes away, or takes a side step, and you get focused on something else and
Yeah.
devote time to it, and it's just yeah, I don't know. Getting back to what you were talking about, like trying to make it like in the art scene,
Mm.
it's that's kind of where my only passion is now, is to do art and music, or reading, writing type of stuff.
I hear you.
But there's definitely it's definitely an uphill battle, because there's just not. I don't see where there's any like cash flow.
No,
Where
there's
art,
there is none.
there's no cash flow in
If
art.
you want cash flow, you better start drinking again and come move back to the city, and
Yeah,
then basically hang out with a bunch of people who don't have any values that you fought so hard to attain.
yeah,
And it's just like everything else. And that's where I find myself now, is like creating things artistically more. Uh, I've gotten to the point where it's just, I've always heard this, you got to do it for yourself or whatever. But
yeah,
I realize I'm having a dialogue with myself when I do it. I even I'll make something. I can look at something that I wrote or painted or drew years ago, and I'll pull it out, and it'll be this eureka moment. Like, oh, I had no idea. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
I was making that for this moment,
yeah.
and that seems to be the value of art pre-commodified. But
Right.
of course, I would love someone to embrace, that in a financially rewarding aspect. But
Yeah,
at the same time, I've seen people, especially through tattooing, I've seen people just lose their spark
yeah,
and become Xerox machines, and it always winds up. It's so strange, man. This imagery, like, I don't know what to call it. It's popularized now mainly because of conspiracy culture, but it's in all the marketing, the Freemasonic imagery, the pyramids and the eye and the it's it uh, that seems to become almost mandatory, and
yeah.
I can't quite understand why. Uh,
Well, that's just that's their whole tourist trap that they set up. That's just
I
not
guess.
the latest one, but that's one of their tourist traps that they set up in the early 1800s or late
Yeah.
1700s. Like there was no such thing as Egypt or Egyptology. Like
Sure.
back, 200-300 years ago, there was no such thing.
Sure.
Just like, Leonardo da Vinci never fucking drew a dinosaur bone or anything like that, like they never like they are we supposed to believe that they didn't start digging holes until 1860
Yeah, man.
where these
It's,
bones weren't discovered before 1860?
that's fucking nanners. It's totally nanners. And the level of this is what's so hilarious because it's just shit on top of shit on top of shit on top of shit. It's like being at a really bad thrift store where it's just piles of clothes. Maybe you're looking for like a work shirt, something that's kind of sturdy that was made in the 80s,
Yeah.
and you're going through it, but you just keep coming up on like t-shirt, Bart Simpson t-shirts with sweat stains and fucking
Yeah.
California raisins,
Yellow pits.
stocking caps, and like, oh, I hate Monday, Garfield sweatpants. And it's just like, oh, it just keeps fucking going and going. And I'm just looking for a fucking work shirt, man.
Yeah.
I even forgot what I was talking about. I got lost. I got lost in the pile.
Yeah.
What the fuck were we talking
We
about
were
there?
talking about we were talking about art, and
Oh god damn, man. Uh
well, basically what I was getting to was I kind of came to a revelation. Anybody that has made it in the art world has made it somewhere else first, doing something,
oh,
you
for
know.
sure. I mean that's apparent. A lot of these the YouTube people, the channels, I could never quite grasp what was going on. There's like these clean cut kids that have this way of talking and whatever, and it's like, man, this is highly annoying and incredibly prevalent, and it's obviously systematic, whatever. I was like, oh, this is jobs for rich kids. Uh, rich kids don't get regular jobs. They get
No,
these sort of hand-me-down things at their mom and dad's company, and mom and dad work at Google, YouTube, or the subsidiaries thereof. You get like one of these, goofy jobs,
yeah,
and you go through this rigmarole. And a lot of them, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but a lot of I started noticing certain personality traits, and I was like, "Whoa, that's right in front of my face," and I never saw it. I mean, it always registered as really irritating. But the point is like that sort of privilege. You have to have a privilege of been somewhere else and had a connection to do something that's a
yeah,
shoe into whatever. I mean, we've all got jobs, through nepotism,
yeah,
one level or another.
yeah,
But what's funny is those people run out of money too. Like those kids get cut loose from the nest,
yeah,
and they lose their mind, and that's why they become these like scammers, and they rip each other off. It's hilarious. It's kind of prevalent in New York.
yeah,
Uh, some stories. I got some stories. I've seen people pop up in the newspaper, not acquaintances, but people that I knew through other people. And it turns out they were just scam artists. But it's like, oh, that makes sense. They're used to going on these luxurious trips, but then they dip out and they stick their acquaintance with the bill, and then they just jump from Morocco to Costa Rica. Then they're dating the son of a banker, you know.
yeah.
And this is where I guess like sucking dick and taking it in the ass comes in pretty handy.
I guess.
The world's oldest trade.
Yeah,
But yeah, the art scene, it's something that it's hard for me to lose that what if connect, like, if I just put a fucking pyramid in this landscape, then maybe that seems to be popular.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Who's like creates like the trends, so to speak. So
Well, and I don't even think it's a conscious thing. It just becomes this retarded, self-reciprocating. system where it's like nobody knows why a Tyrannosaurus Rex is the most popular illustration design for Gap kids clothing. But I know that. So if I wanted to get back on the graphic design kick, what I do is I do a series of illustrations with space rockets, moons, Saturn, dinosaurs, all the dinosaurs, put a baseball hat and sunglasses on them, dinosaurs playing baseball, put an astronaut eating a hamburger, uh, you know,
Yeah,
these sort of things, and it's a guaranteed sell. That's the only way I know how to break into the art world is through the graphic design.
yeah. See, that to me is not like,
No, it's not. It sucks.
yeah, that's not really. I don't know. That's not my concept of art, I suppose.
No, me neither. So when it comes to like putting paint on a canvas and a big, a thing, that's a completely bought and paid for system already. There's a bunch of just old farts that have been sitting around to do, and they fuck so many little boys they're bored,
Yeah,
and they got a knack for splattering paint, and a guy that has a gallery, and you just move your shit.
yeah.
There's a lot of that, but
They kind of,
any young artist with talent, you got to come from like the graffiti angle. That's a great way to break in. But then you don't get shown unless you make something to match the couch
yeah,
made to order. So anyway,
yeah.
maybe you can do it.
Well, I just having this conversation. I kind of like had the thought my grandfather's step brother, or no, my grandfather's half brother
Grandfather's half brother. Okay.
was his name is Franklin. He's I believe he's a in a museum now, but he was in the art scene for a while, and maybe I can try and reach out to him,
There you go. You gotta
get
work them angles, baby.
get in a gallery that he's curating.
There you go. That's what we were talking about. Nepotism.
Yeah, maybe I should reach reach out to my long lost relative
Yeah,
that
you're
I've never met.
isn't this that I remember I don't know where this comes from, but it just reminds me I heard some interview a long time ago, Bernie Mac talking about family members he didn't know he had.
Yeah, well,
Just they would just contact him to tell him how hard life was.
yeah. Once he
Like,
had,
nigga, I know how hard life is. You know, as I work hard to get where I am,
yeah,
motherfucker. Call me and tell me how hard life is.
yeah,
Like, yeah, do it, man. Send him your video. What is it? Your Eurysthenes two stick method.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. If I can
That'll
make
get him.
if I can make Bernie Mac money, I'd be fucking yeah. That's the goal, And I think a lot of these people, well, maybe not a lot of them, but there are the breakouts that
Sure,
make
man.
it, and usually comedians are an outlet for that, or musicians, but they still have to go through the ringer and you
Yeah,
know
you hit a
suck,
ceiling.
suck and blow a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
they
but
at least get out to where they can just pursue their passions and have the fucking bankroll to make their dreams come alive.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't really have that outlook that it works out very well for any of those fuckers.
Yeah, I don't know any of them personally, so I can't really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
guess I've
I'd like
seen.
to I'd like to think like what keeps me going, I suppose, like not just the self exploration, but like I guess being able to obtain that level of sovereignty where I no longer, uh, you know, like I basically don't need the roads at all. I could just
Hmm.
my fucking hovercraft or whatever.
I think. I think our idea, our strategy of going in and making light is the sure way out,
Yeah,
and the path will make itself clear as long as you're continuing to go in without thinking uh, in any particular direction. Because I do know for sure if you draw and paint clouds and landscapes in whatever fashion you enjoy, and you continue to do that, if you paint it, they will come. And that's something that just, those sort of things are the gift that keep on giving. But I've become incredibly bored doing the same thing over and over again. And
yeah, I feel that too. I get bored pretty easily.
yeah,
That's why I kind of keeping it fresh. Like, I'll make my own canvas. So it's like whole process involved. So
yeah,
it's not like I just get to dive into paint and then I'm painting constantly. It's like
yeah,
I'll do a couple days where I'm building stuff, and then a couple days where I'm painting, and then a
yeah,
couple days where I have to go make some money outside the house, and then
yeah.
start the cycle all over again. Sometimes I try and mix the music in there too, but
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on that same sort of page, and I think just becoming whoever you are will become the most attractive feature of your art, and then that puts you in full control of the whole thing. Which, going back to like these dialogues and doing the paintings and having videos, we do have, you know, the late John Lennon gave us these great tools, and while they're killing us and poisoning us slowly and destroying our friends and family, they do give us opportunity to put the visuals up there. People love to watch you draw or watch you paint.
you think?
Uh,
I don't know.
oh no,
I
I know that for a fact. That you can't help, like when you're on the subway and somebody's got a sketchbook open, you can't help but just peek over their shoulder and
Yeah, their perspective. Try and get into their thought, see what they're thinking about. And we're off. And so we are not computers. Uh, we are not computers. 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 Where consciousness is concerned, the existence of the appearance is the reality. False. Mm-hmm. What happened to Retardica? Uh, Common materialists' move is to say, yes, mental states really do exist, but they are not something in addition to physical phenomena. Rather, they can be reduced to and are forms of physical states. Mental states are just patterns of behavior and dispositions to behavior. When behavior just means bodily movements that. You there?
I'm a computer.
We are not computers.
I am the retard 2000. Don't make fun of how 2000 is a very long time ago.
Yeah. So like if they make a computer, right, like artificial intelligence, right?
Okay.
So if they build a computer to do all of these uh, things that a human can do, or faster than a human, like all these calculations, uh,
Yo.
uh, what was I going to say?
Well, back in the year 2000.
Oh, so yeah, with artificial intelligence, they're trying to simulate or they're trying to recreate the human consciousness. Artificial intelligence, yes.
I mean, that's so fucking retarded. It sounds like a 12-year-old kid with, yeah. I
So,
mean,
so it stands to reason that's what their aim is.
that's what?
That's what their aim is to reproduce human consciousness.
I just don't believe it. I think that's just some fantasy mumbo jumbo put out there for us to believe in. I really don't. And even if they are trying to do that, who cares?
Well,
It's
I'm just saying that it's not at all possible. They can't. They can't. There's no way to ever create.
yeah, that's what I feel like. Yeah, okay, I got
But
you. I follow you.
what I'm saying is that if they're making these computers, to have artificial intelligence to basically rival a human and to be like human-like,
Yeah,
and then they build these machines to eliminate human error.
yeah,
So
which just winds up creating more broken shit. So I think the proof is in the pudding. You just know you know the tree by its fruits, and
yeah,
other isms. So when you look at it, it seems evident to me that the whole computer thing. Okay, for example, the brief history of the internet. I heard this recently, and it rang true. Uh, Goes back to the news wire back into the late 1800s, where you would connect different cities through the news wire, and the news wire is basically the propaganda, the mouth of the government. And so the way you manage all of this stuff is to put the stories out so that the different sections of the population, there's something for everybody.
yeah.
You get the population. Uh, so you're able to be ahead. You're the author,
You
right?
cut out
What do you
for
think?
75% of that. I
So
got,
what you
got
so
the one.
then what you do is you add 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and you now don't put it on high heat because it's going to burn, and if you burn it, you're going to ruin the whole thing. And so when you're cooking with butter, you got to use low heat. I actually recommend a double boiler. So then what you do?
Yeah,
You, so all right, brief history of time.
yeah,
You got the AP wire, or you got the news wire back in the late 1800s. Connects all the newspapers, which is the newspapers, the mouth of the government. The mouth of the
yeah.
government
That I got, and then they distributed it to
is the
where they see
stories.
fit. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so this creates predictable behavior, and the
yes,
whole idea is just to sway otherwise creative people like Mumbles and Retardica into behaving like New York Giants super fans, or whatever you need to build. You get them patriotic to do this, that, to do the sweat labor, do the grunt work. And so that AP wire is always the backbone. That's the backbone of the internet. So it became the radio, it became the telephone, it became the television transmissions, and all these other things.
yeah.
So we built this whole like spinal cord of technology that created what we think of as the internet, but it's just a Frankenstein telegraph wire that's just got all kinds of fucking other wires built on top of it, just like how they build the streets in the city from cobblestone into asphalt. It's
Yeah.
just layers on top of layers on top of layers. So we've gotten to a point where what we're calling artificial intelligence, or people are accepting as technological advancement, is kind of just the peak. It's this weird feedback loop of information going out and going back in that is happening so fast that it's creating dysfunction and suicidal behavior and retardation
Yes.
on a level that's almost not manageable unless you burn it down.
Get the whole shit house up in flames.
It seems that way because I can't see that this fucking thing is. I mean, you can't have Lowe's, on the scale that Lowe's behaves like that everywhere.
Yeah.
And every store I have to go to, no matter how well-meaning or good-natured the people working there are, behaves exactly like Lowe's. Is broken. It's just constantly dealing with broken aspects of communication and dysfunction. And I think it's just a result of this. I mean, artificial intelligence is natural stupidity taken to its extreme, right?
Yes.
It's just so we just happen to be living in this insane echo chamber where the information is coming out as fast as it's going back in, and it's creating, like, you put a microphone up to the speaker and you get that nasty feedback, and everybody wants to die. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
so but you can follow it all the way back to the the media, and not just the media, but it's the government, which is the religion. Government and religion are the same thing. The science that we're given is this it's gone full retard. Everything has gone full retard. So
Yeah.
fucking I just wanted to interrupt whatever you were saying.
No, let me interject there with a quote from Ludwig Wittgenstein.
Oh
Wittgen,
boy.
Wittgenstein. I think it's sued. Uh,
Widgeon who?
Wittgenstein.
Widgeon who?
Wittgenstein.
Oh, Wittgenstein. Yeah, I know him.
we tend to take the speech of a Chinese for inarticulate gargling. Someone who understands Chinese will recognize language in what he hears. Similarly, I often cannot discern the humanity in man. I just thought that was suitable.
Ah, that's a breath of fresh
There
steam.
is no religious denominations in which the misuse of metaphysical expressions has been responsible for so much sin as it has in mathematics.
Oh,
Uh,
you read that? You read this on one of your videos.
did I?
I think so. I seem to recall you're sitting in a
Well,
sitting
this
in
is
a truck.
a different book, I think. But
Yeah.
whatever. The human gaze has a power of conferring value on things, but it makes them cost more too.
The human gaze.
Yeah.
this, this
Just let nature speak and acknowledge only one thing as higher than nature, but not what others may think.
So yeah, so here's the thing. This madness that we're immersed in, if once you get out of it or resist the temptation to participate with it, then that leaves the nature, and then that's what I was talking about outside the fairgrounds. I think a few episodes back, And then that's you with yourself. That's you and the creator sitting as one together, breathing in harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I guess it doesn't matter what artificial intelligence or if somebody wants to live forever. It's
Well,
just
I think
it's a narrative that serves some other fantasy that fucks with people's heads.
yeah, I think all intelligence is artificial.
All intelligence, yeah, because what is intelligence got to be based on? Well, based on language, not necessarily intelligence. Fucking Texas Instruments.
I mean,
Intel.
all of these things are made up.
Well, intelligence could also, include the ability, your proficiency at deception,
Yes.
and that
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty much what science is. Yeah.
Oh, well, that goes back.
There's
That goes back to the
lies,
clothes.
corroboration, and lies.
Well, that goes back to the clothes pile
Yeah.
where I got lost
Yeah.
because it's so obviously shit. Like every article of clothing is such article of shit.
Yeah.
And you just want a good shirt and you can't fucking find it in the pile. You just got to get out of the pile and just go to breakingwinddialogue.gov/windbreaker/custom/order.htm.
Include your sizes, please.
If it doesn't matter.
The cost, you shouldn't concern yourself about the cost.
The cost.
Whatever it's going to cost you is what it's going to cost you.
Money is no object.
Send an open-ended PO, and we'll fulfill
And we'll send you a PU. A real stinker.
a PU, a pullover, or a PO. That's a PO.
Yeah,
Oh.
PO. We might send a PO. Or maybe the PO will just show up because the PU will be too strong.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're all under arrest. We're just in diapers, man. We just got birthed out of the whore of Babylon. And we're just I guess we should just eat the placenta and move on.
Yeah, well, you know what they say in Brooklyn?
What do they say in Brooklyn?
Fuck it.
Faggot about it.
Forget about it.
Jesus. Hey.
Yeah. So, all right. What do you think? How long was this sound bite? 2 hours at this point?
Oh,
Half?
good God, where are we? Are we
6
are
days?
we are we better men for what we've done in the past?
Well, I don't think we got anywhere as usual as per our uh, uh,
Oh, Shaggy and Scooby just keep running in place.
yeah, well, it'll be the same thing next time you
Yeah, next time you tune in, you get
guy
more.
different guy under the mask.
There you go. Same fucking formula.
Yeah, same formula, just a different scene.
Well,
You
I don't know. It tastes pretty good to me. I
Yeah,
like these Scooby snacks. I'll keep eating them.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the
Well,
one of these days, maybe this next upcoming, maybe episode 8 will be a special episode in which I actually prepare something to talk about.
preparing it'll just be boring.
You think?
Yeah, because then we'll get serious. We'll stop making light,
Well, I
and
never.
then we don't want to start pontificating.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want to
I get.
prepare, go for it. Whenever I prepare, I mean, this is really, poor format, but I enjoy the hell out of it.
I think my issue is I just got to write things down. You know,
I
my
think. If
Just,
you, I think if you looked at your calendar and
uh-huh.
it's and today is April 20th, still,
Uh-huh.
you might have. Are you? Do you have memory issues with uh indulging in marijuana? Because I always
Yeah, my shit. My
forgot things like for the
yeah.
benefits that I did get.
It's not so much things that things that I already paying are still. It's just like the stuff that when I'm like throughout the day, like I'll have things come into my head and
Oh, sure, sure.
like not even 5 minutes go by, and I'm like, I can't for the life of me remember what I was just thinking about. You know?
Oh, but man, you come across as like so, I don't know, well spoken is the right term, but something somewhere in that family of words, like you come across as articulate and thoughtful. I never get the impression that you're unprepared. I mean, we both, whatever, we're both grasping at fucking straws here.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
but I've not listened to anything and been like embarrassed except for myself a couple of times. But like, yeah, whatever, just kind of go with it. We're not, you get in what you get out what you put into it.
yeah,
But I can listen to these things a few times and still be entertained as long as I don't get self conscious or something. But
yeah. I'm hoping that I mean, it looks like there's a good amount of views on.
yeah, it's weird. I think they're all me checking to see if there's more comments, trying to get those numbers up.
It very well could be.
I'm artificially inflating the numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Maybe I'll pay for one of those
yeah,
app that gives me all them extra subscribers.
yeah.
I'll
Well, if we're gonna do that,
pay for artificial likes.
well,
I'll,
if we get,
I'll pay a company to give me 5 thumbs.
oh
How
god,
much is it going to cost me for 5 thumbs? Yeah.
oh man, oh
Yeah.
yeah, while you're pulling money out of the kitty, get me a voice changer so I can get one of those like cool like unexplainable accents, like somebody who they live in Sweden, but they actually were born in Peru.
Yeah.
They always have an accent like this, but they have a great vocabulary. I completely speak English just fine, and I understand the Earth is not a ball, but to take the idea that the ball is a flat disc in space is preposterous. And it's
Yeah.
like I never heard. I live in New York. You live in New York. I never heard an accent like that.
No.
And it's like that's one of the most. I mean, that is an example of one of the more popular accents on YouTube community chats.
You heard it here first. Yeah.
And you know, I don't get it. I
Yeah.
want so while you're reaching into the kitty, pull out some money for a voice
Oh,
changer because I'm
hopefully,
sick of my voice.
hopefully these windbreakers fly off the shelves.
Come on, folks, you gotta get cold and you gotta cover up.
Yeah.
And I think we're making some. You're not above making onesies for the kids, yeah?
No, not at all. I could,
Yeah, kids break wind too,
sure.
unless you don't feed them,
Yeah.
and then they don't really do much of anything.
Well,
Uh,
we don't have any firsthand science in that regard. We
no.
can't rule that out just yet.
You know what you and me should do? I just hit it because
What?
these windbreakers,
Yeah.
although wildly popular,
Yes.
I think you and I should start looking for art grants, and we should take
Yeah. I
the
was just
break.
talking about grants the other day too. Jeez.
Well, you and I are thinking along the same lines.
Yeah.
So, if you and I create a, I mean, you can do it individually as well, but it's more fun if there's two people who don't give a fuck, and then something actually works. We
Right.
take we take the breaking wind uh, values and morals, and we project that onto a artistic partnership and submit for grants with some basic idea in mind that we're just find the words. We're clever with words
Yeah.
to explain how we're fucking off with no end in sight,
Yeah.
and that's why we're going to need $30,000 ASAP.
Yeah. I just the whole application process is very daunting. I,
No, maybe it's less daunting for me. I don't like it, but if we could do it,
yeah, I'm game.
well, maybe.
I don't know about, if they see my name on the paper, they might not want to give us any money, but
Why
uh,
you got a steen on the end of your
a Steen?
you got
No.
a steen on the end of your wits?
No Steen.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with your name,
Well, I,
Hitler.
I, I think it's about like citizenry, no? Like
Citizenry.
if you're not an upstanding member of society,
No, I don't care
you're
about that
still
shit. You got
yeah.
some you got some criminal activities under your belt.
Well,
All the better. You just gotta all you gotta do, throw in a little, born again Christian, soft shoe, and you're good.
is grant money taxable?
I don't know, man. I'll take care of all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah, all right. So here's the thing. You give
Does that,
me.
well, do I have to declare that as income?
Okay, here's what you do. Here's what you do, my friend. You give me half, 50%, nice and clean, 50% of the windbreaker income after PayPal fees and this, that, and the other thing. And then you do some research on some grants. You find some grants. I'll find some grants. And
Yeah.
then we'll just put it through my invisible company.
Okay.
And we'll just call it Art Lefart.
Art LaFart.
And then that'll pretty much set the tone for failure.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Or we'll come out with some sort of, what can we do? Northeast Visionary Explorations.
Northeast Visionary Exploration.
What is that? NEVE. We got to come up with something like that. Neve.
Yeah.
No, Northeast Visionary Exploration Research. And then we'll do some green movement. All right, here's what we do. You get it? Because we know this stuff. We'll paint.
We're gonna
We'll
clean.
paint. Eh?
We're gonna clean up the oceans.
We're gonna clean up the oceans. Put we're gonna put green things on. You know, everybody. We're gonna make it all green. What else do you do? Space. We got to get on this space. We got to get on this space meal ticket, my friend.
Yeah.
Go to space for green farms in space. I mean, we just go full retard on the shit because once you don't care, how fun is it?
Yeah, that's the way to fuck entertain you.
And what we do is we help kids with autism, which is basically us. You throw that in there. What else do you do?
We'll be millionaires in no time.
Well, I've done it once with windbreakers and broadcasting.
Oh yeah.
So I'm anxious to do it again.
Yeah, I would like to do something like that.
So, okay, there's an idea that'll fizzle away by mid-morning. And but we do have these fantastic machines that allow us to dig up grants that I know for sure go unclaimed.
Yeah,
And fucking why not, man? All you gotta do is do the song and dance.
yeah,
And
I, you
by
know,
the way, you have a great voice.
yeah,
I always
wasn't
thought your
sure,
voice was fantastic.
wasn't sure what the whole, application process was. I thought they were looking for like academic types and people associated with
Uh,
colleges and universities and stuff like that. But
Whatever.
if you know of another outlet to find these said grants,
Yeah,
yeah,
just type in art grants. You
yeah.
know, art grant applications. Just put that in your favorite search engine and smoke it.
All right, I'll try that today.
And I'll try it too. And then we may come up with nothing. May come up with something.
But
We'll learn. We'll
it'll
learn
be the same.
something.
It'll be the same nothing.
Yeah. And then
Come back with the same nothing.
goose eggs.
Yeah.
Yes, goose eggs again.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we'll document the whole thing through our dialogues,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the whole thing will just keep fucking metastasizing. Just a huge, huge, disgusting growth that eventually must be removed, or at least acknowledged.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
fucking radio silence is unacceptable. We'll get nowhere faster each time for sure.
Yes, and I think that's as far as we should take it for today.
Yep,
Thank.
you're done. Time to.
Oh, no, I'm not. I mean, I could keep going, but I got the animals giving me the old stink eye, looking for
You got to turn them around. You're looking at the wrong end.
You don't
Well,
feed there.
exit only.
Yeah.
Well, I appear to have been Ghost of Retardica. This appears to have been Dr. Mumbles, Undertone, McFlurry Breath, the Turd, and you have just experienced another Breaking Wind. Time to